Premier League returned with a bang this past weekend as we saw Manchester United score 5. Of course, Manchester City lose to Tottenham Hotspur. What's going to happen in match number 2? We're going to all coming at you next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video. Today we're looking forward to match number 2 over in the Premier League, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new, where you been, smash your subscribe and keep your bang out to date with all things Premier League related, Blackburn Rovers related, world football related. We're going to all here under one roof. In fact, it couldn't got better for this guy. That's right. Of course, not only did Burnley lose, they were
figures always, that's right.
Coming to a feat to Brighton, but of course Adam Armstrong get himself off to a fantastic start with the Saints. We'll take a look at all of that in just a second. Of course, big shout out to VIPs. They are the Patreons, boys and girls. Thank you for your love, and I do appreciate it. If you are interested in supporting the channel in the way, check out those links down below. But anyway, we're going to jump in the deep end and have a look at match number 1. Of course, my picks and of course your picks. Of course, kick on forward to match number 2. So here we go. Let's get into it then, shall we? Of course, kicking on off with that shocker. Was it a shocker? Probably not. A lot of fans backing the Brentford on this one. 1-0 win was my pick, 2-0 win was the final score, so not too shabby for me. Not bad start as well for me in that one. Man United did take care of Leeds, and they did it in convincing style. 5-1 win over Leeds United. I actually remember the 2-1 win myself on that one. Burnley did lose. Happy days about that one. Did anticipate a Burnley win, but of course Brighton got the better of them. 2-1 win at Turdmore to give Brighton a big old boost already. Day 1 match 1. Well, of course, Chelsea against Crystal Palace. Welcome back to the Premier League. Patrick Vieira 3-0 loss for them. 2-0 for me. Not too shabby. Everton did beat Southampton 3-1 on the day. At the end of it, 2-1 for me. I went with Southampton. Did get Adam Armstrong scoring though. As for Leicester City, they kicked themselves off to a flyer with a 1-0 win against Wolves. Actually, with a 2-0 win on that one myself. Not too shabby. Watford with a surprise win over Aston Villa, perhaps 3-2 win for them. Again, the Grealishless era starts now. No change or no surprise at Carrow Road. 3-0 win for Liverpool, and of course got that one bang on the nose. Newcastle lost 4-2 thriller against West Ham. 6-goal bonanza in favour of Moyes' boys. And of course, a bit of a surprise at White Hart Lane, or whatever you want to call it, Spurs' new Fancy Pants Stadium. 1-0 win for Spurs over City. Wow, wow, wee wow. Of course, Harry Kane, which side are you going to be playing on? Of course, next time around, we'll have to wait and see. Of course, the table looks like this. United lead the charge with Chelsea, Liverpool and West Ham make up the top 4. Of course, it's still anyone's guess, though. Down the foot of the table, Leeds, Norwich and Palace going down. I'd have 2 of those at the moment. Of course, I think Leeds will do all right. Stick Burnley in there and we'll be top trumps. Let's get forward then and take a look at the Prediction League for your guys. I got myself, 4 or 5 or something like that. This is the state of play for the Prediction League. We have a leader. We have a couple of leaders. DJC86, Nana M's up there. And Blackburn Rovers Caesar's up there with 7. But not really. Someone else has put my name up there. So whoever that is, thanks. I'm winning it. I'm up there, joint. But you're going to have to keep it up now. Whoever Blackburn Rovers sees is, you're going to have to keep it up as Blackburn Rovers sees and see how well we do. We'll split the pot, you and me, 50-50. And of course, the chasing back. Some familiar names up there. We saw Shadow Ninja, Russell Frost, Hans Worster in there. Yannick Buster as well. Gaming Charlie, not too far away either. Winky, of course, the Quizmeister General. They're all in there. LG and Cow as well. So let's get in amongst it. Let's take a look at match number 2. If you want to get involved, you're going to use the link right here. Cutley/Prem2. If you want to use the QR code, go ahead. Be my guest. Smart guys. Tech guys. Anyway, let's get going then, shall we? Take a look at so let's take a look at Liverpool, of course, up against them 6-finger freakers. Always Burnley, that's right. Played with the 15 times in 2005. 10 wins for Liverpool, 3 wins for Burnley and 2 draws. The biggest win for Liverpool over Burnley was a 4-0 win. The biggest win the other way was a 2-0 win. Last time I played at Anfield was a 1-0 win for the Freaks. That's right. Good.
Gracious me.
1-0 win for Burnley back in January 2021. However, Liverpool did get a bit of revenge on the back end of last season. 3-0 win over at Turdmore. Of course, Burnley started off with that 2-1 loss against Brighton. Liverpool kicked off with a 3-0 win against Norwich at Carrow Road. The bookies odds 5-1 on is your Liverpool, 11-2 is your draw, 40-1 is your long shots. That is the freak as always. That's right. I'm going to go with a cheeky 3-0 win for Liverpool on this one, and of course flex the muscles and maybe even get Harvey Elliott to score a zinger from the bench. Next, of course, Aston Villa up against Newcastle United. Let's get into this one. This is one of the 3 o'clock kickoffs this coming weekend. Of course, play each other 50 times since 1993. 10 wins for Villa, 23 wins for the Geordies, and 17 draws. The biggest win for Villa over Newcastle was a 4-1 win. The biggest win the other way was a 6-0 win. Of course, last time played each other at Villa Park was a 2-0 win for Aston Villa back in January 2021. Newcastle's last win was in 2017 at St James's Park in the Championship, of course. Newcastle opened up with a 6-goal thriller against West Ham on the bad end of that, 4-2 loss. Meanwhile, Villa also on the back of a 5-goal thriller against Watford, again on the wrong end of that, 3-2 win for Watford. Bookies odds 4-3 on is your Villa, 11-4 is your draw. 7-2 is your long shots. That is the Geordies. I've gone with a 2-1 win on this one. A lot of goals in this one still to keep on moving in the right direction. Next, of course, Crystal Palace up against Brentford. Of course, Palace need a response. Brentford just need to keep on doing what they're doing. Anyway, played the 3 times in 2009. Just 1 win for Brentford. No wins for Palace. Of course, 2 draws. Of course, the biggest win, the only win between the two sides was a 3-2 win. Going in favour of Brentford. Of course, that 3-2 win was in Brentford. In a friendly, they never played each other in competitive action. Of course, Brentford kicked off with a 2-0 win against Arsenal. They also played Valencia and they won in pre-season. As for Palace, 3-0 loss against Chelsea. They did beat Watford in a bit of a friendly, and Crystal and Reading as well heading into this. Bookies are 70-10 for Palace. 70-10 is your Brentford. 11-5 is your draw. The bookies don't know which way to go on this one. Neither do I. I've gone with a draw, 1-1 in the end. And I think Brentford could take 4 points in the first 2 games. I think they'll be very, very happy with that. Next, of course, Leeds United up against Everton. Bit of a zing in this one. Old school, retro sort of football. 26 times they played each other since 1993. 9 wins for Leeds, 7 wins for Everton. 10 draws. Of course, the biggest win for Leeds over Everton was a 3-0 win. The biggest win the other way was a 4-0 win going in favour of Everton. Last time played each other at Goodison Park was a 2-1 win for Everton back in the Premier League, of course, February 2021. Leeds kicked off with a 5-1 loss, big of a damaging loss against Manchester United. Meanwhile, Everton did pick up a win against Southampton. Of course, Dominic Calvert-Lewin up and running with the goals. What they're going to happen though at Ellen Road? The bookies odds 11-10 for Leeds, 94 is your Everton, and 35 is your draw. I think I'm going to go with Leeds on this one. I'm not convinced by Everton just yet, but they did kick off with a win, which of course will give Benitez a big old boost. Kicking off forward though, we have Manchester City up against Norwich. Of course, if any of a response is needed for City, it is this time around up against Norwich at the Etihad. Of course, Norwich will dig their heels in. Of course, played 26 times versus 993, 13 wins for City, 5 wins for Norwich, and 8 draws. Of course, the biggest win for City over Norwich was a 7-0 win. The biggest win the other way was a 2-0 win. That 7-0 win was all the way back in 2013 in the Premier League at the Etihad. Last time they played each other, there was just a 5-0 win. However, when they play each other, last round at Carrow was a 3-2 win for Norwich, so not too shabby on that one. Of course, City opened up with that 1 loss against Spurs. Meanwhile, Norwich opened up their account with a loss against Liverpool. Bookies odds 10-1 on is your City, 9-1 is your draw, 90-1 is your long shot. It is the Canaries. Going to go with a 4-0 win. Big bounce back, of course, and maybe even a Grealish special to get them at least a goal and maybe some points as well. But next up, we've got Wolves up against Spurs, of course, in the Nuno Espirito Santo Derby. That's right, taking place over at Molineux. It's Bruno Langa up against Nuno Espirito Santo, of course, the Portuguese Meisters in the dugouts. Played the 14 times in 2003, 7 wins for Spurs, 4 wins for Wolves, 3 draws. The biggest win for Wolves over Spurs, a 3-1 win. The biggest win the other way was a 5-2 win. Last time they played over at Molineux, it was a 1-1 draw back in December 2020. Of course, it was a 1-1 draw. Of course, Wolves kicked off with a 1-0 against Leicester. Spurs kicked off with a 1-0 against City. Of course, a big response from them. Of course, bookies odds 5-2 is your Wolves, the 23-20 is your Spurs, 94 is your draw. If anything, Spirito Santo does not want to lose this game. I'm going to go with a draw on this. 1-1 draw at Molineux. First home match of the campaign for Bruno Langa and co. Next, of course, Brighton up against Watford, taking place on Saturday to August 21st. Of course, played each other 21 times since 2002, 6 wins for Brighton, 7 wins for Watford, and 8 draws. The biggest win for Brighton over Watford was a 4-0 win. The biggest win the other way was a 2-0 win. Last time played the Amex was a 1-1 draw back in February 2020, of course, and of course it was a 1-1 draw. Last time around, or heading into this, Brighton kicked off with a win against Burnley at Turnbull. Meanwhile, Watford also kicked off with a win against Aston Villa at Vicarage Road. Bookies odds on this one, 10-7 on is your Brighton, 13-5 is your draw, 17-4 is your away win. That is Watford on this. I'm going to go with the Brighton win on this one, 2-1. Of course, with that, they could go top of the league. Kicking off forward, we have Southampton up against Manchester United. That's on August 22nd. Of course, played the 46 times in 1993, 30 wins for United, 7 wins for the Saints, and 9 draws. Of course, the biggest win for Southampton was a 9-goal thriller, 6-3 in favour of the Saints. The biggest win for United over Southampton was a 9-goal thriller, go in favour of United, 9-0 it was. In fact, United scored 105 goals compared to the 52 goals scored by Southampton in those 46 matches, around about 2.28 goals a game ratio. Heading into this, of course, last time around at the Den, or not the Den, St Mary's, was a 3-2 win for United. Goodness gracious me. However, last time played was in fact that 9-0 win for United as well. Heading into this, of course, Saints kicked off with a 3-1 loss against Everton. Of course, United kicked off with a 5-1 win against Leeds as well. Bookies odds 90-4 for the Saints, 7-4 on is United, 3-1 is your draw. I'm going to go with United on this one, 3-1 win, and maybe Armstrong gets another goal to keep on believing as well. Into the final two now, we have our bit of a London derby. That's right, it's Arsenal up against Chelsea on this one. Of course, played the 75 times in 1993, 29 wins for Arsenal, 26 wins for Chelsea, and 20 draws, of course. 5-2 win was the biggest win for Arsenal, 6-0 win was the biggest win for Chelsea. Heading into this last time played at the Emirates was a 3-1 win for Arsenal back in December 2020, also on Boxing Day, of course. Heading into this, of course, Arsenal with that 2-0 loss against Brentford on opening day. Chelsea, on the other hand, with a 3-0 win against Crystal Palace, also on the back of a Super Cup win against Villarreal as well. Heading into this, the bookies odds 50-4 for Arsenal, 30-5 is your draw, 4-3 on is your Chelsea. They are your red hot favourites, and of course they are the red hot favourites in my eyes as well. 2-0 win, no goals as well. Scored for Arsenal. I'm already in a bit of trouble. And then wrapping up on Monday Night Football, it'll be West Ham up against Leicester City, of course, taking place on August the 23rd. Played each other 33 times since 1994. 15 wins for West Ham, 10 wins for Leicester, and 8 draws. Of course, the biggest win for the Hammers over Leicester, of course, was a 3-0 win. The biggest win the other way was a 4-1 win. Last time they played each other at the Hammer Stadium was a 3-2 win for West Ham back in April 2021. Let's hope for a bit of that on Monday Night Football, shall we? Of course, West Ham kicked off with a 4-2 win against the Geordies. Meanwhile, Leicester kicked off with a 1-0 win against the Wolves, of course, to give themselves both a fantastic start. Bookies are 13-8 for the Hammers, 31-20 is your Leicester, 12-5 is your draw. Difficult one, this one could go either way. I'm going with the Hammers, 2-1 win for Moyes' boys. And of course, let me know your thoughts and opinions about this one. Of course, get your predictions in for match number 2 as and when you can get them. Of course, use the link here, cut.me/prem number 2. Of course, I look forward to seeing those. Until then, be sure to give the video some love and smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe. Will your team do wonders? Will Burnley get it back-to-back defeats? Let's hope so. But until then, give the video some love and I'll see you soon for the next one, whenever that may be.